not a podcast. It's the Slamcast, episode number 33, we think. Welcome to the show that just keeps on going on and on and on. The only live YouTube wrestling podcast on the internet. I am your host, Brandon Ligon. I am joined by the Sancho Panza to my wrestling Don Quixote, Mr. Michael Burhan.
Loves being one of the top champions here on WWE Supercard. You can download it now from 2K Games, absolutely free on your iPhone, Android phone, and Windows phone. As Davis found out, it's highly addictive, so be warned, and it's much better than WWE 2K15. But we'll get that review up tomorrow. So those of you who have been on this network,
whole other. Wow, it's wait. It's like 2 minutes into the show, and you've already begun to able to plug something one of your YouTube videos. That's like a personal record.
I'm the plugging machine.
That's a person. Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. That's a personal record for you. 2015. Dave Wade is in the house. How's it going, Davo? How is it going on?
Not bad, man? Mate. I'm alright. I'm sorry I sent those two pictures to you on Facebook, but you're still.
I didn't even see him.
Creepy.
I haven't even seen it yet. So I'm trying to avoid Facebook right now.
Well, I have it on good authority right now. My friends think you look like McCready from The Thing, so that's
I still say, ladies and gents, I still say that Dave's gimmick, because we talked about it yesterday on Burhan and the Boy yesterday, that his gimmick is going to be Lawn Boy's post. He'll have like a Hacksaw Jim Duggan gimmick, but he's going to carry a post around with him, and he's going to beat people with it.
And I'm gonna emboss 1975 at the end, so when I twat some bloke in the face, they get the imprinted bruise. In fact, I'll print it backwards, so when I twat them in the face, it comes out forwards.
Wow. 2015, the year of weird intros.
That's my commitment to assault.
Yeah, we've also got another 2K Sports Supercard player here, in the name of Mr. Nick Horchek.
Yo.
By the way, Nick,
same old shit, different year.
Party was quite frankly the best picture I've ever seen.
Oh God, my friends are assholes. Okay.
I know, but it was so funny.
Nick, I still want to know that hot chick that you're friends with. I need her number. Can you give me her number?
I didn't know if I wanted to punch your stomach or sing
Damn
your
you!
lullaby.
Are you just like, you know that Mike's gonna probably just destroy it? Is that why?
It's the swarthy British accent. They haven't heard anything like that in Montana.
Hey, you know what?
You would like a fucking.
Me and Dave have basically figured out my American accent, so I can basically talk like this if he likes, just so I can talk.
Well, I
gave him pointers on how to do an American accent.
He's got a little bit more twang in his voice too, though.
Yeah, I do.
Me too. British accent. Which one? I could do several different ones. Or that I could have a Geordie accent like Adrian. I know. I'm pretty good.
We need to
I could only really do kind of like a Cockney accent. I could only really
have to have more.
Like
you got
Maurice to
push it.
Maurice to British to it.
Say in your best English accent, you're most comfortable. Welcome to Slamcast, brothers. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, ladies and gents, this show is also sponsored by LAFights.com. Go there for Nigel McGuinness. He was on the show last week. If you haven't listened to Christmas with McGuinness, you should do. It was a great show.
Legend.
And Brandon,
Hashtag best episode ever.
Yeah, and Brandon was very nice to actually let me helm kind of the show.
Take over.
And take over.
Well, no, that was your fish, man. You reeled that one in, so I was going to let you bullet in all the way. I stayed back and I tried to be the comic relief. And I was like, if I had to complain anything, you guys totally ruined my setup bit that I want to do for any feud. I have a question that I want to ask them, and it's very kayfabe, and I want to ask them: have they been to El Generico's orphanage down in Mexico yet, where him and Kevin Steen are?
Okay, so let's go into a little bit about.
Quickly though, can I just ask Mr. Nick to do his English accent?
Go on, Nick, do an English accent.
Nick.
Oh, I don't have one. I can't fucking do an English accent.
That was
just
the
do a bad
shittest
Austin
I've
Powers
ever heard in my life.
Whatever.
That was. Let's move on. Move on.
Just say fuck off, son. I'll nick your wheels when you're asleep.
I would say Raw.
Oh man, just train wreck of an entrance. Let's just quickly move on.
Really?
Right, so ladies and gents, I want to basically bring up our first little bit of topic for tonight, which is we've got some wrestling news going on. TNA has officially signed half its roster, but is not renewing the contract of Rob Terry. It's everything Vince McMahon would love, but everything that Triple H would hate. Because he has no talent whatsoever.
He's your classic Vince McMahon big guy.
Yes, that was the reason why he ended up in developmental, and then they realised he couldn't learn anything, so he was let go. But yeah, so we've got that as well. It's becoming clearer and clearer that Brock Lesnar will be leaving the WWE and moving on to UFC shores. So if you're looking for Lesnar to either retain at the Rumble and lose at Mania, that may not happen. Lesnar may actually lose the title, come into the Royal Rumble, and then go to face an up-and-coming star at Mania. They haven't...
But does that upset you, people? Does that upset you?
Not really.
Not
because
you,
I
them.
think Brock's
People
had
in the...
momentum because of the fact that he's not working a full-time schedule. You know, when it
schedule, Mike, schedule.
Well, I'm going to say schedule. To any person who works in a company like the WWE, you have to work the proper schedule, or schedule, as Dave would put it, or as any Englishman would put it, and to permit you as the champion to be fighting. Otherwise, don't hold the title. I am largely.
Well, it's a token title if you hold it and you don't put in the man hours. If you
there's two ways about it. Some say, well, that's good that he's got the title because it proves, it makes the title more special. But then you've eliminated the World Heavyweight Championship, so there's nothing for anyone to vie for while Lesnar's off TV. So you have match after match between Cena versus Rollins, which, don't get me wrong, I love Rollins. I just don't like him versus Cena because I've seen Cena to death. And it feels like they've thrown Rollins in to kind of waste Cena's time until Brock arrives.
Stopgap.
Yeah.
But it doesn't illuminate the title because it kind of, looks like, from the outsider point of view, when you look at this and you're like, well, you've got the title, but you're not putting anywhere near the work that all these other people are who aren't even close to a sniff of it. So how's that fair?
Exactly.
I know it's wrestling, but you know what I mean.
It is. It's politics, but it's come to the fact that I feel that the WWE is in danger at the moment of losing touch. And there's been a couple of things that I want to talk about, but we'll leave it until we go on to our Raw results and just give Raw a little bit of a review this week. Let's go on to our next part of our show.
I do have something I wanted to say about this. Lesnar's leaving the company.
Yeah.
A member of the McMahon family is in charge of booking, and John Cena is the #1 contender.
Yeah.
There's a sense of deja vu.
I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, it's been done to death, and I think Vince and co need to really think about their product overall and understand that it's about wrestling. This has been their bread and butter for years. Vince keeps trying to shoehorn the fact that he wants an overall face of the company to be their film star. It's one of the reasons why they created WWE Films, to brand their stars and have them appear in movies in order for the WWE to, one, get an extra bit of revenue coming in, and two, for the company to kind of make their stars multifaceted. Problem is, it doesn't really look like appealing. With every Marine movie that they make,
they have a lack of people that are really viable cross platform, I guess you can want to say, non-wrestling fans that have crossover appeal. There you go. That's the word I want to look for.
Yeah,
John Cena has crossover appeal. Roman Reigns has a tremendous amount of crossover appeal to him. Great. He's a handsome fella. I'll say that. The ladies love him.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that these guys can actually be in actors or can be people that can do stand-up comedy.
Neither was Hulk Hogan.
Yes, but you saw how much Hogan's career is a laughing stock.
But, he still made movies. He still got money. Guys still got paid.
Yes, and now he's back at the WWE making next to nothing because of the fact that his wife took him for half.
Well, look, that's
Hogan. He's not the greatest actor in the world ever, but at least he transgressed to movie forms in such a way that he could pull off being in movies or justify being in movies.
His movies were what I call hyperbolically bad.
Yeah, he was a brand.
They were so bad, they were awesome.
I would consider Hogan the same as I would consider Cena. He's a brand identity within himself.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's very few guys
because The Rock is an action star. He's not a
Stone Cold Steve Austin looks like an action star.
Yeah. But he's not. When you try to
you accepted him in that medium is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, they're one-dimensional in a sense as well, because when you see, like, for instance,
Edge, I believe Edge is a tough guy as an action star. I believe Triple H as an actor. I believe Kane as an actor. They just lack guys that are at that level right now, and they have to develop them through the WWE, not just throwing them into movies like what they're trying, like what they do.
Yeah, it's organic, as well. The problem is the top guy of the company, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more when we go into one of our segments, because we're going to debut a couple of new segments today.
Yes, we are.
And a lot of it is due to the fact that the company needs a brand identity, and I'm also going to be bringing back Wrestle Ramblings for my YouTube channel to talk a little bit more about this in depth. So if you want to go and check that out, you can check it out on youtube.com/nerdgenius when I do a vlog tomorrow. I'm actually bringing back vlogs. Now, going on from that, the WWE has basically, due to CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio kind of shunning the company, they have now put a clause in the contracts, which would not be held up in court, by the way, that if you've left the WWE, you cannot work for anyone else within a year. And secondly, you basically are not allowed as well. If you basically are fired from the company for whatever reason, or released from your contract for whatever reason, you forfeit all merchandise rights. I think this is a big piece of bullshit from the company, and really a black eye in terms of the way they handle their talent. I don't like
that. I didn't know that. I don't like that.
That's extremely vindictive.
That's punching below bar.
But it won't hold up in court because, say it with me, everyone, they are independent contractors.
There
you go.
See, you're stealing. I felt like now that should be a part of my new segment, worst persons in professional wrestling.
Yeah, that you can add that in, but it's a big thing at the moment. I think Vince McMahon and his company, who have I will say this about any company. If I've got a company of my own, I'm hoping to build it up. I would never, ever take the backbone of my company and shit all over everyone that built it. These guys, you've got your Undertakers, you've got your Stone Cold Steve Austins, you've got your Rocks, you have your Hulk Hogans, you have these guys. For every one of these guys, you've had guys like your Razor Ramones, your Kevin Nashes, your Shawn Michaels, your Bret Harts. Then you have down the roster as well. You have the lower tier guys like your X-Pacs, your Bob Hollies. The guys have been the workhorses of your company. To every person that you've basically employed that have built your company up, from the lower card to the mid card to the top of the card, you have slapped them in the face simultaneously with a big...
Essentially, you just made them indentured servants, basically. You just said you can't go anywhere to perform at the highest level anywhere but us, and if you do, you can't. You have to wait a year. That's basically just saying, look how long it took Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal, to get his career back on track after being released by the WWE.
Yeah, and a lot of it was leaked out onto the internet about what happened, and he apologized for it. He said, it was something stupid. I admit to the fact it was stupid, but they didn't give him the right to bench me for the entire time. He felt kind of jilted, but he didn't feel slighted as much. He felt they were in the right to do it. I understand the point of discipline, but you are taking away people's livelihoods. Who the fuck do you think you are, taking away people's livelihoods? And as a company, Dixie Carter treats her employees better than you do.
There's another aspect to it as well, though.
Yeah, that's really wow.
You've made me defend Dixie Carter. Did you see what you've done here?
2 weeks in a row. This is 2 weeks in a row. People
Fuck this company.
Things.
But I was going to make an observation, which was, I understand what you said, Mike, which is discipline's important. You got to keep people in line and stuff. But people invest more so in an individual and an athlete, even though they love the company. So by doing this, because people care and love, some of these guys, aren't they risking kind of a little bit of a backlash?
Well, no, there's going to be a huge backlash. I'm going to basically, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to start a change.org petition for the WWE to change their practices because you are breaching people's civil rights.
Yeah. Plus, also, it comes back to what you said, which is some of these people built this company and they sweated, fucking tears and shit.
Every pro wrestler did this. Every pro wrestler made this company. Yes, was CM Punk right to be an asshole? No. Was he right to be pissed off that you tried to withhold his fucking royalty check? Yes, he was.
Was he pissed that he had a fucking staph infection that almost killed him? Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Right, I know it was one bad mistake, but it was a bad mistake that was on you. You sat there on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast talking about the fact that you hate what happened and you felt bad and that there's this brass ring that everyone needs to go for and that the roster doesn't really feel comfortable going for that brass ring, and then you do stupid shit like this, which you slate your employees. I've seen it in any business. I've seen companies, come out and act like this and go out and mistreat their employees who are the backbone of their company. I don't care if you're Sainsbury's, Asda, Walmart, big retail chain, small company, big company. Your employees are the backbone of your company. If there are people who don't want to work,
you're the sum of your parts. Be respectful.
Exactly. You don't have to give them much, but you've got to give them a pat on the back, a well done, and you've also got to say, hey, I want you to be the guy on the top. You got to get that guy on the top. Not, I'm going to shit on you and keep you down in the fucking mid-card. Then if you decide to leave, I'm going to ban you for a year from going to wrestle so that
I'll support you. I won't shaft you because you made my business what it is.
And Nigel's alluded to this. Once a company benches you, you lose your luster. Companies will stop wanting to book you and you will lose the amount of money you can get when you're hot. And for a lot of these mid-card guys, that's a lot of money for them. That's enough to feed their families, for God's sake. Vince,
is there basically an element of cutting your nose off to spite your face in this from there?
Yeah, you're a family man. Your family works for the company. You've got your daughter, Stephanie, your son, Shane. For fuck's sake, dude. You've got these people who have families. You've got a rehabilitation program for people who are drugged up in your company, right? And you're telling me you want to slap people in the face, your own employees, with this shit. Am I being wrong here? Am I right?
No, that's a very good point. That they have this kind of readdressing situation for all these other problems, but something like this that comes over like contract negotiations and stuff like that, you're dead to me. Well, you're going to forgive this guy for fucking taking illegal doping, and you have a rehabilitation program for him to come back into your sport. But this guy who pissed you off because he had a different creative vision of your sport than you did, you're going to shit on him?
And the thing is, the worst thing about it is they know that these contracts are not legal. They're not binding, right? If you take it to court, if you have the money to take them to court, they'll have to settle, which is what they did with Punk. It's what they did with Del Rio, because it would have smeared the company and the judge would have awarded them 10 times the amount they would have been asking for to slap Vince in his fucking face.
Is it just that old little chestnut, which is they just try it on and they think that if we say this or we do this or we enact this law, our own law, that we'll put the fear of God into people and they won't dare reprise against us. But as you said, when they do, the law's on their side.
Don't make that much money. If you're in the developmental system of the company, you make probably more than a middle salaried employee in a small company. So say like probably about $30,000 to $40,000 a year, right? Once you get out of the developmental system and you make your way to the lower card, you're probably going to get a boost from merchandise sales to say 35 to 40,000 a year. Then if you're in the mid card, that's where you get the big money. You're on about like 100 grand, 250, 300 grand. I knew someone like X-Pac was probably making about 750,000 a year based on, well, the fact that he was being used so much. If you're used, you get paid, right? And Ricardo Rodriguez talked about this when he was doing the shoot interviews for RF Video, which again, Rob Feinstein, you're a piece of shit. He did a shoot video for them, and he was talking about the fact that the WWE has this pot. What they do is you can either choose to take your money there and then, so every time you do a show, you get paid for those shows individually. And you get paid.
Oh, they have a payout clause, do they?
Individually. Or they open up a little pot. It's like a little account where they pop the money into it and they'll save this money for you. And all you got to do is withdraw out of that pot, little bit by little bit. And a lot of those guys, it keeps them focused and it keeps them saving. Yeah? Now, for that allows them to kind of manage their money and go forward. But if you're not working, the pot gets smaller. If you're not earning enough, a pot gets smaller. And plus the interest that you would have earned if you saved that money gets smaller. And the person like Ricardo, he weren't being fairly used, he didn't have any t-shirts, there was no merchandise coming for this guy, He was just a talent who was stuck after he was taken away from Alberto Del Rio. He was just left in the cold. And he asked for his release because he wasn't earning anything. He had no money. There was no finances that he could gain, no monetary gain from the WWE
Everyone's
system.
got to eat.
Yeah. The thing about the WWE system, it's become more like a record label, like the record labels used to be back in the Motown era, where they will basically, they'll say, right, we'll print your T-shirts, we'll create this big PR company around you, we will give you the company's championships if you progress up the card, we'll book you in situations and we'll help promote you. We'll also work as your agents, getting you TV deals, radio deals, getting you on podcasts, radio shows, and we'll negotiate all these little deals for you in order to build you up in your brand. What they also do as well is, once they sour on you, they destroy that. They can bench you. They will leave you at home. They leave you doing nothing. You're lucky if you're someone like Tyson Kidd, who ended up, because of Natty, and again, because of the whole Total Divas thing, and they needed women for the show, he got thrusted into the limelight with her. So he's getting some momentum based on Total Divas, based on everything else. But he had to really forego a lot of stuff, including his privacy. But hey, he got a wedding paid for it, so fuck it.
They're basically playing callous God, aren't they? Because every individual
Pretty
is,
much. The company,
when people look at this and go like, oh, it's entertainment, or it's Hollywood or show business or stuff like that. It's like, well, aren't we, like you just touched on? At the end of the day, these people have families too and need to provide bread and
all
butter.
those. And it's exactly what you say. If these people are being treated like television and showbiz, well, television and showbiz people are all unionized. They're all paid under the Screen Actors Guild.
yes.
So there's regulations, stuff like that. This is exactly what I go. No, it's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I was talking about. That there should be, if it's a absolute joke that in the 21st century, in a multi-billion-dollar industry, there's not at least some form of collective bargaining agreement between ownership and management. It's the fact that it's really still being done in the same old system that it really kind of has. I mean, it got a little bit updated in the we're now operating in the guaranteed money era of professional wrestling, as opposed to pay for play or pay for what you work.
They're getting paid a lot more than a lot of the guys in that era. But
it sounds to me like they have no real security, though.
Exactly.
They can't bank upon the future and stuff. They can't buy a house and shit because it's like basically you're the beck and call of the WWE.
Yeah, and they have to pay taxes in 50 different states.
Yeah,
and you have to get paid. You have to get paid tax in every state you work in. So you have to literally file income tax 50 times, I think.
Can I just say, by the way, people, inside joke, Brandon, first picture, I'm sorry. Hopefully the second picture made up for it.
I think they're both pretty hilarious. I want to make them my default.
But yeah, this is the big thing. You are taking away from your talents. You're taking away from their families. So Vince, I'm like man to man here. I know you probably don't listen to our little podcast, but I will say this: from man to man, please look at the way that your company is managing the situation. I know you're losing money on the WWE network. I understand that. I understand you can't pay your talent as much as you want to, and as much as they used to get paid, because the company is changing. You're changing stances and you're changing shift in terms of your momentum and what you're doing as a company. But if you looked at your roster, addressed them and said, this is what's going on, I guarantee you people will love you so much that they will respect you enough to work with you. Your talent isn't trying to screw you over, but the more...
There's also another argument, though, which is obviously people will grow up wanting to be in this sport.
Dude,
and they have fire in their belly, but at the same time, people will look at it and just go, we're not going to be financially supported, or, we're just expendable, and it might put them off, and that deprives the sport of fucking talent, because at the end of the day, even though you love something and you have fire in your belly to do it, at the same time, you still need to be financially supported and secure, so, bad move. I agree with what you said, by the way, Burhan, which is obviously he can't throw money at everyone, but at the same time, some basic level of fucking pay or rights is the entitlement of anyone in work, regardless of his wrestling.
So what I will say to each and every one of you, if you want an alternative wrestling business, if you want a business that's working for the wrestlers, go to lafights.com, contribute to Nigel's Kickstarter because it brings about an alternative. Me and Dave have already put $39 in. I'm going to put in a little bit more if I can by the end of the month, if I have any money available after, like, you know, rent and stuff. Dave put in £50, which
I'm not only going to lie. I'm not only going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I only donated because he called Burhead a wanker.
But, you know, $75 as well. He put that in. You know, if there's any money you can spare, as little as $1, put it in, because in the end, it's up to you, each and every one of you fans out there. If you're a fan of the wrestling business and you believe what the WWE is doing is wrong, if you're sick and tired of seeing John Cena's and all these, like, stars,
paper champions,
who basically aren't even, and no offense, I love you, John, but you are not fit to lace Ric Flair's boots, let alone eclipse his title reigns. That's me. Right?
I just add a little bit to that, which is when McGuinness talked to us, I have to say he did say something that we all agreed with, and it sounded really, you know, and rounded true with us, which is, if you're upset with something, you can't invoke change unless you do something about it, and that's what that project's about.
And you know what? I would trust someone like Nigel McGuinness, who knows the wrestling business inside and out, to pull something like this off than somebody in the shoes of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He's trying to put together something that stars can rest, that you can basically see independent contractors get their due, and an alternative for people to support their families. If you're a WWE talent out there at the moment and you are disgruntled with the way that the company is working, donate to this. If you're in TNA and you feel that Dixie's giving you the long end of the stick, donate. If you're in
I think I can sum up one phrase, by the way, which is, well, what he's doing, it's passion over profit.
But you know what? That's passion influences profit. This is what people don't understand. Passion influences profit.
Oh no, it's a byproduct of it, but
it's someone had this conversation with me recently about how with anything she was saying her company, she went, I'm teaching people and training people to work in my company, but they don't want to do it. So I'm thinking of just putting the company away altogether, because I don't have time to run it and keep watching these people when they're just faffing about. And I said to her, well, they're not passionate about what you do. It's not you that's the problem, it's the people that are working for you. They don't have the passion. And when Vince sits there talking about the brass ring, in my opinion, Kofi Kingston was ready for the WWE Championship when he had that feud with Orton. Do you remember that feud, Brandon?
Yeah, if they pulled the trigger on him, I think they would have gotten a good couple of months of good TV out of it.
Yeah.
But
I think
beyond that,
I mean,
I really don't know.
five-time WWE champion by now.
Five-time champion.
5 time.
I think that's a little bit hyperbolic. I mean, maybe we live in that era. He could have gotten a five-time WWE champion within a year.
Like Zack Ryder would have been a good world heavyweight champion. I think these guys.
Oh yeah, Zack Ryder made a good U.S. champion had they not pushed him off a stage.
Yeah. And this is what this is the thing that bothers me. You talk about the fact that you want these guys to be, to grab these brass rings, but yet you sit there and you degrade them, you push them, you insult them. And yes, I understand. Back in the day, people used to do this to you guys, to everybody who was on the WWE brass and WWE staff. This isn't the old days anymore. You've got this Be a Star campaign, and you're trying to take away people's rights. Who the fuck do you think you are? Seriously, I am so worked up by this.
Jimmy Johns.
Obviously, you've done 20 minutes on it. You've done a full Triple H promo on it, practically.
Yeah. Well, my promo.
Like, you're really
holy shit.
Whiff.
And I'm going to do a video on this. I'm going to do a vlog, and I'm going to do a change.org on this, and I'm going to basically tell everyone, if you are so
be your cause. This is your hill to die on.
This
apparently.
is my hill to die on, and I don't give a fuck if the WWE think I'm a piece of shit. Listen to me. Wrestling fans unite here. Donate. LAfights.com. Go now.
It's your chance to make change, people.
$1. If you can only donate $1, donate it. Get this up. Get this Kickstarter back. Get him on the $350,000 that he needs to get this project working. Because people's families, people's lives are at stake here. and you need an alternative product. I know you've got GFW. That's not a sure thing. You've got Ring of Honor, which is doing well, but that's not a sure thing. You've got all these other companies out there who are treading on ice and eggshells because they're afraid that the WWE is going to kill them if they even come out of their comfort zone. But they're not sure things. If you want to save professional wrestling, then do this. Get it out there. I'm going to get the change.org thing out there as well.
Sport, isn't it? Which is look to the future, people. If you love something, then let it go and be free.
I love professional wrestling. I was a fan since 1990. You know, I remember watching WrestleMania 7 as my first wrestling pay-per-view. You know, and I remember as a kid, my eyes lit up with glee, and my first favourite wrestler was Hulk Hogan. But I feel like I've been reliving Hulk Hogan's era for God knows how long.
It's the Hogan era version 2.0 starring John Cena. Is basically what it is.
So, ladies and gents, there you go. I'm going to leave it at that because Brandon's right. Otherwise, it's going to be the Burhan show.
You did 20 minutes on this. Yeah. I mean, I was sitting here. I had conversations with Sean about Steven Gerrard leaving Liverpool. We talk about that more later, I'm sure, Davo.
I'm extremely happy the fact that you actually allowed me to do that.
No, hey man, I know when to shut up and let you do your thing, and I agree with you the same way. It's an absolute farce that a multi-billion-dollar company or a multi-million-dollar company now, if you guess you could say, because they lost a little bit of change, still conducts business in a way that was done in
the 80s,
the 1900s.
Yeah.
Hot dog and a handshake kind of stuff, verbal contracts. Like,
it's a cliche, but it's basically do as I say.
It really just shows wrestling's carny roots.
Yeah, and
the fact that they'll impose these.
It's extremely shady, Brandon. It's extremely shady because they know that if the talent had the money to negate these contracts, they would. And I've never been so ashamed to call myself a fan of World Wrestling Entertainment in my life.
Jimmy John's did this. This is the exact same shit Jimmy John's was doing a few months ago. I don't know if they still do it, but they were basically, when their employees got hired, they would have to sign a contract that said if you leave, you cannot work at any other fast food, any other sandwich shop for 2 or 3 years.
Because like what Jimmy John's has. Like Jimmy John's has like proprietary technology that people are gonna steal, like bring over to McDonald's and make burgers better.
Apparently,
like, get the fuck out of here. It's
the biggest hubris shit because you're paying your
hubris
minimum wage.
It bugs me.
It's hubris of. I was gonna say it's hubris of gargantuan proportions.
Yeah, it's extreme buggery. I mean, to the point of I have never seen anyone ever react in this way in the hills of professional wrestling. In any company, you would not do this. You would not do this to your talent. You would not do this to your fans and to each and every one of you.
That's the point I was going to make. Ultimately, who loses out in this equation the biggest? You know, don't get me wrong, it's terrible that they're depriving all these individuals of what they deserve or they're due for being in this business. But ultimately, who loses out the most because they got a chip on their shoulder in the WWE? It's the fans.
Yeah. And that's the problem, and that's the long end of the stick on this. And ladies and gents, if you are watching this show right now, make sure you share it on your timelines, your Facebooks, your Twitters, and loads of other little places. And make sure that you support LAfights.com. I'm going to say that again, and I'm going to keep plugging that until the show's over. Go to Nigel's page, LAfights.com, check out his Kickstarter, see what he's got out there. He did say and explain that he was being a bit too recluse with the idea. He didn't explain it further. He's done a new video update further explaining this idea and this concept, and also put himself out there. He's put his body on the line and said he will wrestle for this company. He will wrestle for this company if you donate. If you want an alternative, go to LAfights.com. Let's keep going on with the news, of course, and let's get onto the lighter side. Let's do an Ask Him. Should we do an Ask Him? Let's do an Ask Him.
Let's do an Ask Him.
Yeah, let's do an Ask Him. Right.
Did we get a winner for my one? Did we give it a winner for my one that I did that other week, or did we just like totally give it away?
Oh, I think we did.
The Dudley one.
The Dudley one. I'm going to use that now. Next time I get pulled over by the old Bill.
We said it on the
show.
Did
we say it on the?
We said it on the show.
Oh, okay. I wasn't. I forgot.
Yeah, we did that one, and we didn't do one the week after because we had Nigel on the show.
Because
so the show
Nigel
was
on.
about him. Yeah.
And we all turned into starstruck.
So this week's Ask Him.
Yeah.
Speaking of who screwed who, a former WWE superstar migrated over to their competition over at WCW Nitro and put their title in the garbage. A, who was the superstar? B, what was the title that they put in the trash can that became invalid in the company, that they no longer supported it until a certain time point? And C, what was the match that was had to bring that title back to prominence? So A,
can I just say something,
ship?
which is...
One sec, Dave.
Oh,
A,
bollocks. That's my random facts out the window now. I had to find some new ones.
Who was the person that jumped ship and put their title in the bin? B, how long was that title inactive for after the fact? And C, who were the two individuals that fought over the title when they reactivated it? So that's 3 in a row of Ask Hims. And the reason why I asked you this Ask Him is because there has been whisperings that the WWE may be letting go of the United States Championship to bring back the European Championship to give Rusev a bigger run.
We are
I like this idea.
People, I know that, but I would just like to say, damn you, Burhan. That was actually in my list of facts to ask tonight.
Oh, sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, go on.
But like, I mean, I like this idea of bringing the U.S. title back because I saw that Lana tweeted that out, and then they quickly, like, had to take it down. But here's what I like to do. I would like them to try and like keep Rusev looking real strong.
Real strong.
Real strong. Like we're gonna have him drop the belt, but keep him look real strong. Like, I don't know, just have him lose the belt because he doesn't want to fight anybody, feels like he fights anybody. You take the belt off of him, and he comes back the next week, proclaims himself the European champion, because still no one's going to take the belt off the guy. You still got the guy doing the same thing. Yeah, he pressures whoever, Lillian Garcia into, or they could have Lana throw some shade at Lillian, to try and put over the fact that he's the European champion, I don't know. I just don't like taking the United States title off him because I really think this strong Russian juggernaut thing that they got going, it still has some juice into it. Maybe I hold out some false hope that Kurt Angle's gonna come back.
No, but, he's actually. That's
I know.
News. He has signed a contract with TNA. His final run with the company apparently, and he's looking to retire.
He's been with TNA longer than he was with WWE.
Yeah. But you know what? We'll say that he was a product of the WWE developmental system, and a very good one at that.
Yes, sir. Yes, he was. Ay, Dios mío. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Now, shall we move on to another little bit? We have our kayfabe news article of the week.
Let's get all our bits out.
Yes. So we'll do that. So, ladies and
well,
gentlemen,
we always saw that in the pre-show.
This show is sponsored by kayfabenews.com. If you don't know what Kayfabe News is, it's a fun site that gives you factual news just like The Onion does. And this week's Kayfabe News article of the week is Sting mortified to learn he's 13 years late for the invasion. Legendary professional wrestler Sting issued a statement this morning saying he's deeply, deeply sorry for arriving in World Wrestling Entertainment 13 years late for the WCW invasion angle. Terrific, he said, the enigmatic star, following his much-anticipated appearance.
Someone should buy him a watch.
At last night's Survivor Series event. Better late than never, I guess. Sorry. Sting has attained the almost mythical status of being one of the only top-tier professional wrestlers on Earth never to have performed in the WWE ring. But for no other reason, it turns out, than his chronic tardiness. Sting was disappointed when he arrived in St. Louis to discover that WCW colleagues, including Hugh Morris, Lance Storm, Billy Kidman, and long since given up their invasion crusade, and that WCW had become little more than a fading memory in wrestling history. Dang it! Said Sting. This is embarrassing. Sting explained that he had intended to join his WCW brethren when they invaded the WWE in 2001, but he took the wrong turn south onto Route 41 out of Atlanta and ended up stranded in Orlando for a number of unpleasant years. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is our Kayfabe News article of the week, sponsored by kayfabenews.com, where wrestling's still real to us.
Damn it! Boom.
There you go.
Nailed it.
I love that.
So, going on from that, Brandon, I believe you've got a new segment you want to debut.
I do, and I want to get this off my chest because, this is something new that I'm going to do. It's my own personal soapbox segment. So, you got anything I have to say, anything you got to say after I say it, come at me, bro. My life is an open book. So, all right. We didn't get theme music obviously for the thing, but in the future we'll have the Phantom of the Opera theme music and all that other stuff. So in my head I have this going. So first, if you all join me for a new bit, we're gonna call here, it will be a weekly bit on Slamcast, is the worst persons in professional wrestling. But first, the miscreants, losers, and riffraff, the unwashed, the unloved. Don't take it completely seriously. We don't mean it entirely literally. We just like to call them the worst persons in the professional wrestling world. The bronze goes to the aforementioned World Wrestling Entertainment for, again, trying to impose draconian measures upon their workforce by not allowing them to wrestle on TV for a year. I mean, come on, get out of here. What are you trying to do? Obviously, Burhen did that whole thing. I would have done a whole longer spiel. The silver, and I really have kind of got to modify this to, I don't know if this website is parody or not. Moms against the WWE.
Wait, what?
I really hope...
I've got to go on this side, Moms.
It's like on, the church people who have a problem with Family Guy, but against wrestling.
It's a Twitter thing. It's a Twitter thing. I am hoping this is... satire. I'm really
it's
sure.
Actually real.
Entirely literal. It doesn't.
No. It's a parody.
Okay. All right. Well, then that kind of makes my
sense. Brackets parody.
Okay. Well, then I did have a B, and I did have a B thing, and I gotta go back to the Twitter user Riyadh something or other. I'm not even gonna put this guy's Twitter handle over. For being a troll and just being a bad troll, for chastising the road dog for having his dogs sleep in his bed. And then I went on this guy's Twitter account to prove that this guy is basically just a world-class failure at trolling, and he has SaudiArabia.com for his web address.
Can I just say, before my dog passed away, sadly, I tried not to let her, but she did sleep in my bed every night. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, who doesn't love their
dog? I'm not saying I had sex with her or anything, but you know what I mean.
Hey, if you did, Dave, that's your business.
You inspired me. But
anyway,
I'm sorry, I'm annoyed over that now.
So that's it. But now the gold, and this is one that really grinded my gears. It goes out to the administrators and fans, and I'm even disappointed to say that 16 of my friends are like this page. It goes out to the administrators and fans of Bad Wrestlers Exposed. If you're not familiar with Bad Wrestlers Exposed, it's a fan page on Facebook in which largely people with insider knowledge in the professional wrestling industry, either talent or friends of talent and the like. Basically, it's a burn book for other people to make fun of people that probably shouldn't be in a professional wrestling ring, or probably should at least, train a little bit more for becoming. That is all well and good. I don't mind a good, well-natured humor. It's usually all done in good humor. But there have been several times recently where they have really kind of overstepped the line. One post, they told a guy that he should probably kill himself. Whoa. And what finally drew what was the absolute final straw for me, and when you call down somebody that I know, that's kind of where I feel like I have this small platform, I'm gonna use it. They called out a woman by the name of Lexa Rose. I'm gonna use her kayfabe name, I'm not gonna use her real name and stuff like that. By calling her the Ring Rat of the Week. Lexa Rose is a female wrestling talent. She works around down in the Long Island, New York area. They particularly just like to find some way to just single her out for whatever reason. I mean, she does make herself a bit of a target. If anything, anything that she's guilty of is chronic overposting on Facebook. Nothing more of these great crimes that they've seemed to warrant her being the focus of their website and having continual posts about it. But if you want to brag on her wrestling ability, that's one thing. Leave the woman's personal life out of it. I saw on the page the other day, and I found out because one of my friends liked it, and it really just made me sick. Leave the woman's relationship out of it. That has nothing to do. Exactly. It has really nothing to do with it. And the fact that you people do that behind the anonymity of a Facebook page, and you don't even at least tag your admins who makes the post, it shows that you really have absolutely no fucking balls whatsoever. I say some shit on this fucking podcast, but I fucking own up to it every day. I put my Twitter handle, I put my public Facebook.
Your face.
I put my face on it. Exactly. My face is on this. I put everything except my physical address on it. I own up to every fucking statement I have ever made on this show. The fact that you people do it
is created a bunch of fucking idiots in every form of media that turn into a bunch of fucking trolling keyboard warriors. Why? Because they can hide their face and they don't have the balls to front the individual that they want.
I agree with Brandon on this. I get on my soapbox. Anytime I say an opinion about something, I always defend it. And if I'm wrong, I will sit there and say I'm wrong, and I'll publicly state that. I've never had an issue. If I tell someone to go fuck themselves, it's usually a good reason. But you don't go around and telling people to kill themselves. You don't, go around and comment on someone's
It's high schoolish.
Yeah.
It's high schoolish. It's exactly what... It's exactly what it is. It's high schoolish. It's petty, and it really does. This website puts itself, or this Facebook page, it's not even a website. This Facebook page puts itself up as it's trying to save the industry from these people that shouldn't be booked. All right. Well, first of all, what bookings are these people stealing from you? If your talent is good enough, it shouldn't speak to itself.
And second of all, what
you're doing nothing to
making that statement.
Exactly, and you're doing nothing to help the business by doing this, other than, letting people know to not book these people. Well, I don't think any reasonable promoter would book them, and if any promoter does, it's his own goddamn fault, all right? So for the reasons I listed above, the owners, admins, people that like the page, all 3,000 or 900 or whatever so of them, of not trash bag wrestlers, of bad wrestlers exposed, you are the worst persons in professional wrestling. And then we fade out with the Fan of the Opera theme.
Yes, and I agree on that. I'm going to chime in on what Brandon said here. You can't do that. It's ridiculous.
It's callow. It's callow, and the fact that they don't have I'm sure they have multiple admins upon. I'm sure I've probably even met. Because I've heard about this page for a while now. They used to rag on the Ludus School, which is a professional wrestling school down in Brooklyn. They were another target of theirs, but that's a whole another issue entirely. They do this, but they
people then.
The page has been up for a year or so. It's one of these things that just happens.
They just be in their bonnet and go after certain people who are in the thread or popular.
It is. Believe me, this isn't the first. Shit. There's the if you think YouTube is bad, you guys, at least you don't have blogs dedicated to tearing you down. I had someone write a fake article about me. They did an interview with me, and they basically just plagiarized the whole, or fabricated the whole thing and completely misrepresented anything I would ever actually say in an interview.
Who was the?
I know.
Who's the site? Name and shame.
It's please, it's over with. I don't even give a shit. It's Mr. Nuts. It was hilarious. It was the fact that it was actually so hilariously off base from anything I actually believe within professional wrestling was hilarious. But I went on this huge witch hunt to find out who it was because of it afterwards. I'm done with that. I'm over.
Was it the idiot that we all know and love?
No, this is somebody. No, this was before. This is pre-NPR. This was MVW days while we were still running shows. They actually wrote an article. This guy did a weekly blog post, or monthly, maybe it was monthly, did a monthly blog post.
Did you suffer like any negative backlash from this because of
No, my friends said, you aren't gonna like, because we all knew about the guy. My friend said, you're not gonna like this, and I'm like, what? Because he had been like taking shots at me before, like little tiny digs in his article, like saying Brandon Gold is inept, can't manage his clients. I'm like, well, that's the gimmick. Like, the thing is, I'm supposed to be this sleazy slimeball manager who doesn't get over. Anyway, but like the fact that he did an entire interview piece with me and had fabricated opinions that I would have.
He liked though as well, because he did that.
Well, it had to be somebody. We figured it had to be somebody who had met me before. We narrowed it down. I had somebody like track his email address and stuff like that. I would really fucking CIA level shit.
Oh my god,
we narrowed it down to like a number of likely suspects, but we weren't able to actually, get it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to continue this by talking about something that we missed out in our news section. Apparently,
did we?
It's been reported that Roman Reigns may be considered for de-pushing by the WWE due to the fact that Mr. Vince McMahon himself and Triple H feel that they have soured on the guy because he is not progressing as they hoped. Due to his time away, they felt that the aforementioned wrestler in question hasn't been adjusting very well after actually putting him through acting classes to try and up his promo skills and representation of himself, and also the fact that they feel that even though his matches are good, he's still not ready for a main event level push. They still feel that they will push him at some point, but I don't feel he's ready to be the top guy.
Have him crush Rusev, because if you're gonna have eventually at some point in time that streak has to end. And you know what? If like you don't even do it, like just do a face to face and stuff like that. Have like Rusev do it. Superman punch, Rusev dead man cell. There you go. That's how you make Roman Reigns look really strong.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to that fucking gimmick.
I just came here to look strong.
He go really strong. Nick found our title for next week's show.
Yeah, I've posted it on our YouTube player there. It's actually showing if Reigns looks weak, we riot.
Yes.
Now, talking about that, going on from that, let's move on to our Raw review. We'll do that in a second. I just want to let everyone out there, if you want to have a change in professional wrestling, if you want to basically support something that means a lot to you, for me, I would basically put my money on LAFights.com. So go to LAFights.com now and check out Nigel McGuinness's Kickstarter. It's an alternative product done in a very new way with a new Smash Mouth style. Check it out. Go to LAFights.com for more information. So, as we're going on about this week's WWE Raw, we saw a lot of things happening. There's some things I liked, including the fact that they gave certain people center stage, like guys that we never usually would be listening to.
Okay, you're gonna talk about that? I want to call it the night that every mid-card guy got a fucking promo.
Yeah, well, apart from Brian, and I'm gonna say there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. At first, they got Ryback to come in. He made the save for Dolph Ziggler, which I didn't understand, against Rusev. I understand they're trying to...
It was more polished than substance.
Yeah, they set up a feud between Ryback and Rusev, and Ryback saying, it's not for America I'm doing this. I'm doing this because he's a bully.
I'm doing this because he's a bully, and I'm dumb as hell.
Yeah, they did the whole thing of him... But
the Rocky IV speech
I did empathise a little bit, because he did talk about the fact that he found the secret... which is I've got to read that book. Apparently, it's supposed to be a really good book.
It made you feel for him, though. Like I felt for the Ryan Reeves, the human being.
It did, but they tried to humanize him, and I think it did kind of work. But it
too much. Did they do it too much? Like, because now it's like, oh, now you want Ryback to win because
it seemed really forced. If that makes sense.
It did. Well, because anytime they obviously had a fucking promo video for it, that was obviously planned. That wasn't like, I thought it was a shoot promo until they cut to the video.
And he seemed like his dialogue wasn't flowing from his mouth. It wasn't being organic.
It was 50-50.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by now. I mean, we all seen that script by now.
Well, no, we have. I actually saw this one, and yeah, it was scripted, and it was almost like I'm doing my Forrest Gump speech, and God damn it, I'm gonna make you fucking cry.
Yeah, and it didn't make me want to cry. It made me feel bad for him. I sat there and thought, okay,
I did. Sorry about your Black Panther
you kind of do deserve to be here. You've had a long road. You've worked your ass off.
Sorry about your plight.
You know, we've all been through the same thing as Ryan Reeves has. The person, including like having depression, not doing the thing that you love to do, and we've all worked in a shitty remedial job, which he talked about. Even though
I still have one.
Yeah. But the thing that bugs me about this a lot is, I just, as a professional wrestler, Ryback, it did nothing to help his character out. It just seemed, to me, if I had Reeves, if it was me, I'd say, look, here's the mic, go out there, talk about yourself. Tell the crowd why you want to be here.
Here's a fucking cue card and read this.
Yeah. Not, let's write something and it will sound emotional, because they're not his words.
Do you know the only thing that bit missed was they could have played the end music from The Incredible Hulk.
Well, yeah, but they might as well have just had a little fucking neon sign to the crowd going, cry, 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 like a cue card.
The way he was looking at the camera, I almost felt that there was a guy with cue cards standing behind him. I felt that the thing wasn't.
He was all
written out. It was definitely highly coached up. It was like, okay, he had things that he wanted to say because he's obviously speaking from the heart. This is obviously his real life experience.
No, but there were times where I sat there and I was in the moment. But there were certain things that he would do, certain things that he would say, certain words that you felt wasn't things that he would normally say. You know, he felt a little bit too intelligent. Sorry.
Because our exposure to the guys,
that he was speaking from the heart, and it was kind of like, that's good,
absolutely,
and we like that, but we need to polish it up more and make it into what we want it to be.
No, it's
we're going to basically take your heartfelt speech and turn it into a fucking Oscar speech.
Dave, for instance, like if Brandon says something, if I write something for Brandon will usually take that and say, let me reword it to something that I would say, so I can articulate it the way I want to say it. That's the way that WWE used to do things.
Yeah, but they turn it into the fox in the hand.
Yeah, now they're like, let's give you a script. You tell us what you want to say.
My life.
Yeah, you tell us what you want to say. We'll write it down, and then you say it in our words. That's not the way it works.
We're Windows Word Checker. We're going to auto-correct this for you.
Yeah, it's in reverse, which is the way it shouldn't be done. Now,
okay, I got.
The point with that was there was sentiment in it, but at the same time, you could feel that someone else had their hands in the pie.
No, absolutely. And on a serious note, I mean, I do like the promo. I just really felt that could have been done like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right before he was going up against CM Punk for the title.
Yeah. Great promo, bad delivery.
Right before WrestleMania, right before he fought Mark Henry, instead of just like doing all the stupid test of strength stuff.
Yeah, and in my opinion, if they really wanted to put the guy over, why don't they just get Ryan Reeves to just go to NXT, work there, build up his style, get him to work with established guys like Steen, who are Smash Mouth, who are guys
because they want him now. They want it now.
That's the problem. And again, we're going to talk
They
about
need
this.
it. They need it now.
We're going to talk about this a little bit more because we're going to tell you about a good way to do a promo.
So what's worse? Okay, having to work a match with Ryback, or having to sit on a bus for 8 hours and having Ryback talk to you about the secret.
Well, we'll kill the bus journey.
Well, I'm saying that, I want to actually read that book now because maybe it'll give me a bit more motivation because I'm going through a bit of a...
We'll will this project into existence.
Trust me, Brandon, I sat on a bus journey from Montreal to Toronto that lasted 8 hours, and I had a bloke sat next to me with, bad breath. So I'll take that over this.
See, you just got to think about it.
Let's talk about the promo done right. The announce team, which has been very, very bland as of late, because you've just had JBL shouting shit, the King of Cole making fun of him.
You can tell King just wants to revert to like 2000 Lawler and just start screaming puppies every 3 seconds because that's where his comfort zone is.
There's no dynamic, but the one thing I will say the WWE's got, and that's the Big Show. My God, he was a breath of fresh air. He was on the announce team when Roman Reigns' match against Rollins. He bigged Rollins up. He talked about how amazing Rollins is. You can tell there was a partnership going on between the two. and it was palatable. It was something.
It's Dangerous Alliance 2.0. I totally see it happening.
Funny as hell. He seemed like a guy that could put someone over, and he really and they're like,
well, he is. Yeah. He's that guy now.
Yeah.
He's the gateway guy.
Yeah, and it was like, why do you hate Roman Reigns? He was like, he stuck his nose in my business. I never asked him to be there. He came in there and smacked me in the mouth with a punch. Why is everyone against me? And I liked it. It was it reminded me of like Kevin Nash Diesel, before he left the company when he was being the heel. Like where the one promo, I love this promo to death, where they went, why did you hit Shawn Michaels with his chair? Well, he said, hey buddy, I got a vertebrae out. Can you just hit it back in? And he goes, there, I did it. And I'm the bad guy.
Oh no, I mean, that's great. Kevin Nash is great.
Yeah.
Poor Kevin Nash, chokeslam.
I tell you what, right? I can tell WWE where they're going wrong, and if you want the greatest promo in the world ever, it was a terrible movie, and it was a terrible, trailer. But the Phantom Menace is how they should go with their trailers, which is short, sharp, sweet.
They didn't say anything.
And everything you say is one line that invokes response or emotion from someone else. No like fucking let's talk about deep shit, just like I'm a fucking Jedi or shit like that. That's where promos should be, which is it should be kind of like just that little, I didn't really get anything from that, but I'm fucking hyped.
Yeah, but the thing is, his promo in general, what Big Show did is made Romans and Rollins look strong. He made these two guys,
real strong.
Yeah, he put them
real
both
strong
over in one promo in various different sentences in the way that he did it. And it's basically, you got to look at the words, you got to look at the delivery of those lines and the way that you put them over. And it was organic. You could tell that it was Paul White talking about this. You can tell that it was basically his character trying to sell himself. It was him.
That's the key point as well, by the way, Burn, you just said, which is you can say whatever you like. You can have a bad script because obviously a lot of it's written for them, but at least if you're being you, it carries over. If you just go, I got a card in front of me, I'm going to beat this guy down, I'm going to slam him, oh, it's going to be awesome. People can pick up shit like that.
That's Memphis, bro. Like, no, we've seen.
And there's a lot of that
1975.
Now, the Big Show is a student
by the way, there's a lot of that out there.
But the Big Show is a student of the Attitude Era. He was someone who wasn't trained properly in WCW, was told by Hogan to go to the WWE, got trained in the WWE, went through a couple of pitfalls himself. There were times where they almost nearly gave up on him. And he got himself over, And he was one of those guys that he knows how to cut a promo. He's extremely good at what he does. Now, with that, he did an amazing thing. He's one of those that really I find kind of he's very enjoyable to listen to. In terms to his feud with Roman Reigns, I can't wait to see it, but I'm assure you he'll probably make Roman look strong. Anyway,
real strong. But
say it one more time. I love it when you say it like that, Brandon.
Real strong.
But what do you think of it, Brandon?
I do. I think Big Show is at the point now, like I said, he's the gateway guy. He's the guy that puts people over that obviously they want to be something, so they put it over the Big Show. Because he's that just physical attraction.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Specimen.
He's the bloke.
And I agree. He was one of the lone bright spots in a kind of pretty mediocre Raw. I felt overall.
So let's talk. Moving on from that one, let's go on to a person who is being so fucking underused. He might as well be a fucking tampon.
It's criminal. It's absolutely. If we're talking about who I think we're absolutely talking about. I do have a problem with this.
Yeah, Cesaro.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about guys that we're talking about again, this was night of mid-card promos. A guy who was on the great way to cutting a great promo. You thought, oh my god, they're finally going to let Cesaro speak and stuff like that. And I agreed with everything he said. He is, on par with anybody when he steps in between those ropes. I love how he shot himself in the foot though. He explained, he did the 3 ropes thing. Everybody got it, but then he explained himself, and it kind of felt like he lost some momentum, which was very fitting because he was about to lose all momentum. I felt after this because anything that positive that he gained from this promo immediately was wiped away the second Wade Barrett came back.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's anything against Wade Barrett for coming back, but the way the match that they had, it didn't make him look strong at all. Yeah. He did not look strong.
And that's the big thing here. Cesaro was in there. He was cutting this promo. They told him to get a mic and go out and tell you people and identify with you, but I don't identify with you because I'm better than you. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, okay, he's gonna do it. He's gonna finally
almost there, almost there.
And then,
stay on target.
Yeah, and then he was just he was gonna say something else.
He did the 3 ring. He did the 3 ropes, and then he had to explain to people that there are 3 ropes on 4 sides of the ring, or 4 ropes on 3.
Well, I actually have an opinion on this. Look at you guys sucking me into wrestling.
I know you have opinions on promos and shit.
Well, didn't you feel that like with the him? It was like there were constraints on you. You were stifled. You were given a very specific thing to say and given a very specific way to act. And you, wow,
it was time. I think they might have given him a little bit of time, and then they're like, all right, let's see before this guy goes off the rails to quickly throw Barrett out there.
I'm not bashing him, but I just felt like in that he was their puppet, and they said, dance for me, fool, dance for me.
Yeah. It was one of those things where I felt like they kind of stifled him.
And they're missing a gem. Sorry, they're not missing a gem, they're missing the gem in him, is what I meant to say.
The guy looks strong.
Real strong.
And then
meant to make him. That was meant to make him look really strong.
Yeah. Then when the movie came in with the
kept him looking somewhat strong.
He became a political pawn. We're wrestling political pawn, but he became a political pawn. I can't say that twice in a row because I'll see the Candyman and he'll kill me.
Okay.
But no, he became a product of the system in the sense that, you know, we liked him, but they had bigger plans for him and knew better than us. And it was just, oh, fuck off. You don't know shit because give us what we want. And he was a, dare I say, contender? No, but you know what I mean. Potential. Potential is the word I'm looking for.
I should have been a qualification of a guy. They then threw him under the fucking bus because of the packaging him and losing him and getting him to...
He's got no identity, basically.
Yeah, it's just anything that made him unique. Oh, don't do the swing thing. Do the swing thing, then people are going to basically cheer for you. So they don't want people to cheer for you.
Comes back to what we said at the start, which is do as I say, not do as I do. We know best. And it's like, no, you don't. Listen to the fans. They know best.
Yeah. And now you've got Cesaro basically doing a WWE TV thing.
Yeah, I like that.
For me,
he's a workhorse, and he's been shafted, basically.
Oh, the guy is so goddamn good in the ring. And why you... yeah, we all thought that he wins, the Battle Royale at WrestleMania. He's going to get pushed to the moon. Nope. They give him this promo on Raw. You think they're going to start some with them. What happens? I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Don't get me wrong, I love Wade Barrett. God damn.
Token fight, I would say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the big reason Cesaro got de-pushed is because he said no one wants to see Cena versus Orton anymore. But oh no, you dissed the Golden Boy, John Cena. Oh, you're in the doghouse.
It's a dangerous life path to have an opinion in the WWE, apparently.
Uh-huh. Awesome.
He wants that. He wants that ass.
Yeah. The reason why I like this segment. One,
I'm looking up right now. I missed this one. Hang on.
he hates Roland, his character, as a sort of work. So it made me hate his character. Name it there. Did the whole thing about Cena going straight in his neck and made Cena open doors. He's like, I like that so much. Two, I found it not very believable. Here's why.
Yeah, that was great. I love that little awkward moment. He's like, "Oh, should I just go now?" He's like, "Yeah, you should just go."
Yeah, but why would a guy
Watching it right now. Sorry, people. I'm watching it right now.
he's gonna get his neck broken? Had a feud with him. Would you want to go and save him?
Yes, because he's not wrestling anymore, and it's they're not enemies.
That's your dad.
This is what I can think. You remember
Kids
when?
kayfabe.
Do you remember
It was a
when
different
Orton
era.
and Cena were feuding for the 20th time? What was it, like 07, 08, whenever that was, and Cena's dad got the punt to the skull? That would be like a year later, all of a sudden, Cena is coming out and saving Orton's ass every week.
Yeah. And also, right, so he doesn't save anyone, right? Then he eventually comes out, gives him what he wants. One,
Yep.
I was gonna let everybody else go first, but if you want me to go, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was absolutely excellent. It was absolutely excellent for Rollins because again, it establishes him clearly as the #1 heel in the company, unquestionably. After this, doing dastardly things like breaking the neck of a beloved Hall of Fame superstar like Edge.
Edge, in his own right, was the ultimate opportunist. And that's why Edge is such a fucking great heel. He would go to any length to get in somebody's head, going into Cena's parents' house, slapping his dad. Anything.
I love that phrase. I'm going to use that, by the way.
I really thought everything about it was perfectly well done. Like, Cena played it perfectly. He just muttered it into the microphone. I bring the authority back. I bring the authority back. And then Rollins sold it perfectly afterwards when he just said, "Oh, you knew I was going to do it anyway." And I was like, "Oh, that's absolutely fucking great, man."
Chilling with a beer.
Just perfect. And then they did it, and then that was, it was great. But I heard one thing was kind of fucked up about it was Orton fucked up his cue. We were supposed to get Orton coming back at the end of Raw, but I guess it went on a little long, or somebody forgot their cue, and yeah, it was.
Damn it, Sin Cara, you had one job.
I know, damn it, Edge and Bill. I think those guys went on. They went that back and forth, went on a little too long.
I have a bold statement to make about this fight.
Okay, go for it.
I thought it was very polished, very professional. And I thought it harkened back. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it was pretty damn near perfect. I thought I harkened back to the old school days. Drama, delivery, you know, and the very understated, like Brandon said, like, you know.
No, that's what it's doing. They're making Rollins into a believable and he is believable. They're making Rollins into the number one heel. He's taking Randy Orton's place. That was Orton's place for a while. I mean, it was kind of Lesnar was kind of like
checkers.
1A.
You could feel them placing themselves on board.
Exactly. Now they're positioning him as the number one heel in the company, which.
Well, I'm guaranteeing it here. I believe that.
Really? You're going to call that right now?
I think. You know what? I think you're right, and I think they're going to do it. They're just going to. Cena's going to lose to Lesnar, but he's going to damage him heavily, and then Rollins is going to come out and just curb stomp him, make him look himself as strong as possible, and you have a new WWE champion going into the start of the official start of WrestleMania
right,
season.
I'm going to back Lesnar. Sorry, I'm going to back Lesnar, and if I lose, I will buy you both a jar of Marmite.
You could save your jar of Marmite. I don't know really any use for
I don't think they're going to let go of him this quickly. Not let go of him, you know what I mean? Like, not like fire him and shit. But I don't know.
No, I don't think they're going to let go of it quickly either. I just think they're going to transition the WWE title into the feud.
I think, if you call me on it, that it will be a fight, a close fight, and he'll come out on top, barely. And then
I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if this is John Cena's wrestling.
I personally think it's going to be that they're preparing the future, but it's going to be like, you know, not just yet.
Well, this is the thing. With whatever race situation, there may still be a problem, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Not strong.
Stroud.
They totally pulled the swerve on us, man. Because I thought that was going one way, and I was just like, "Oh
Vince
man,
Russo, take
what are
notes.
they doing? What are they gonna do? What are they doing now? He's not really gonna retire." And then they stopped, and he looked at the camera. Yeah, I was just like, "Oh man, this is really happening." Yeah, he got good acting skills.
Yeah, if you're looking at the guy that could probably be your next breakout acting star, there you go.
The Daniel Bryan in the Daniel Bryan story would be a fucking great movie.
I want to see Daniel Bryan in the remake of
American Dragon, the Bryan Danielson story.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, we need to write that right now.
For me, it made it work.
I want to see him in The Little Mermaid.
He made himself work so much because he talked about the fact that he didn't feel, you know, he did that little Twitter status, that cryptic Twitter status. I was sitting there going, no, and then he just went and did it, and he goes, and then he just did that one line. You know, do you think it's over?
You feel lucky, punk.
And then went, no. I was like, oh fuck, thank God. And he's like, I'm entering the 2015 Royal Rumble. I was like, fucking heart attack. I remember Miguel.
Yeah, no, it was. I didn't know where it was going. I thought it was like, oh my god, am I really watching the end of Daniel Bryan's career? And then I'm thinking, what's gonna happen now? Like, you know, how are they gonna use him? They sold that perfectly. I was just like, you fucking bastard! I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
This proves that this professional wrestling can still make me feel so. Yeah, I said, you magnificent fucking bastard. Choke the shit out of Justin Roberts right now. I don't care.
Yeah, and you know what? I believe that Daniel Bryan will have a road to WrestleMania 30. Was it 31?
You know what? I think if you're talking about someone who could supplant Roman Reigns as the guy now, it's gonna at least be Daniel Bryan again for the top round. I mean, they have to give this another go around again, a proper go.
He hasn't lost momentum even after they tried to destroy it with that fucking Stephanie McMahon bullshit. You know?
No, absolutely. I mean, they could essentially just re-pick up the feud again. That's what's so great about it. Like, you know, it's like, I thought you were done. Why couldn't you just stay gone?
Yeah.
Not gonna stay gone. No.
Yeah.
I'm back, bitches.
Shit writes itself. Shit writes itself, man. That's all I'm saying.
And it did. And as far as I'm concerned, it
wasn't. I mean, why wasn't that the pre-main event? I mean, obviously you can't have 2 promos back to back. Brought back
the teaser trailer of Star Wars. It's like, look at this shit.
It's 3 hours. I mean, you didn't experience it when it was just an hour, so it was just like...
You know what I'm saying, right?
Segments.
It feels like I love it, but it feels like a precursor. It feels like a warm-up. I guess that's what it is. Is that what it is? Is that what I'm saying right now? That Raw feels like a warm-up for the main event?
I mean, that's what it's meant to be.
They've basically done a great job in re-establishing Bryan. Even though the fact is the fans kept him alive. They kept his gimmick alive, they kept him alive. So it's great for what it is. So hopefully they can continue with the momentum and keep going from there. Now, going on from that.
But if Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble, though, he's got to do it from 1 to 30. He can't show up at number 30 and just clean house at the end. He's got to...
But if he wins it, where's he going from there?
WrestleMania. And he'll win the
WrestleMania.
title. I think Bryan versus Rollins would be a fucking epic match.
Oh, fuck yes.
Right, and if you want to make Roman look strong, put him in the
real
match
strong.
as well,
Stop
and
saying
have a freeway,
that. It's already in my brain.
Or build Roman properly and have him as either your new United States champion or your new Intercontinental champion.
Yeah,
so we're going to go on statement right now and say that he is officially a contender and it's going to happen.
I would say if I was a betting man, obviously Daniel Bryan is the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble right now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because I know I agree with you, but I'm just saying WWE is such a fickle beast. You can't ever truly predict these things because, well, they're fucked up in the head.
I mean, it's 3 to 5 odds right now whether or not Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble.
I'm going to put 10 on that.
Other possible candidates, I think, are obviously Roman Reigns, because I want to make him look real strong. And then Dolph Ziggler.
And Dean Ambrose.
And Dean Ambrose.
Now, going on from that, ladies and gents, let's go on to our Iron Sheik tweet of the week, and then round things up.
Oh, shit! I don't have an Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
I got facts. I have a piss on board that will drown a donkey.
Do some facts. Do some facts.
Yeah, do some facts while we're getting that. And to those people out there who have basically... the show did cut out there for a little bit, just due to a little issue, but we're now back on, so do apologize.
Can I just say, listening to my own inner monologue as I talk, God damn it, you bitches, you completely sucked me in.
I agree.
Now I have the disease that is wrestling in my head.
So, Dave...
I want to talk the facts about Hogan.
Do your wrestling facts while I need to use the loo quickly. So, you do your...
Oh, God, don't say that, because I've had a piss dream, even though I'm not asleep on board for an hour.
Go for it. Nick, continue.
Alright.
What was,
Dave, facts.
Right. Hogan. We're on Hogan, bitches. I know we rip on him every week. Sorry, Hogan, but we do rip on you every week. Mainly because you've got silky smooth hair.
Brother.
Yeah. Where do you fucking buy them? Do you buy them in bulk, Hogan, by the way? Because seriously, that's a lot of fucking shirt.
T-shirts. I like the fact that the cuts get bigger by, as he's transitioned.
Yeah. Yeah, brother, I'm going to rip my shirt off. I saw the pre-cuts, Hogan, so shut up.
Right, go on, Dave. Hogan.
Right, so what was the rap song by another wrestler that had a track on the album that was having a pop at Hogan?
Be a man, Hogan.
Oh,
be a man.
Macho Man Randy Savage. Be a man.
Yeah. And I watched it, and I've never laughed so much in my life, in a good way, because I miss you.
That was during Sad Macho Man period. I really we really thought Randy Savage was losing genuinely.
The whole track to bashing Hogan.
Yeah, I really thought at that point in time he had really gone, full retard and just he had become the madness. At that point in time, the gimmick had been real life, but no, his brother had said, no, that was just him trying to stay in the public limelight, and I'm like, fuck, man, that was fucking genius. Anyway, go on.
And my facts have just walked away from. Why don't I have a picture of Mariah Carey? I would do you, but only after a couple of beers. Early on, it was imminent that Terry Bollier had immense talent and physical prowess that would make him the future superstar of sports entertainment. How is this, sorry Internet, how is this even related to Hogan? Maybe you can answer that. On his first day of training,
I got my
was,
Iron Sheik tweet of the week. So wrap it up.
On his first day of training, Bollier, I'm probably butchering the name, but you know, I'm English. We just read shit as it looks on the screen.
It's Bolea.
Bolea was apparently asked by his trainer, Matsuda, so do you want to be a wrestler? He obviously said yes, and for his first lesson, his leg was purposely broken by Matsuda. Alright, this isn't Hogan, but that's fucking cool. That's a lesson and a half. By the way, you want to be a wrestler? Yeah, man. It's going to break your leg.
Yeah, dude. He was trained in the old, like, you say what you will about Hogan, he was trained in, like, the old Japanese way, like, you know, I mean, I don't know if he came up...
No, I heard that, yeah.
I heard in the New Japan dojo. Yeah, I don't know if he came up in the dojo status, like, you know, was, like, had to sleep on the floors and sweep the mats and stuff like that, but, yeah, he was definitely trained, you know.
It's scaring me massively. It's the Rocky 3 picture. Underlips. Leave me alone, Thunderlips. I like you. You're tucking it back, son, aren't you? You're tucking it back.
All right, so Burt Henry back.
Who was that? This you say when Hulk Hogan, before Hulk Hogan, but I forget how you pronounce his name. Bollier burst onto the professional wrestling scene as the Hulkamania that millions have come to love and know. He made his professional debut using the gimmick of a masked character. What was it?
Oh, I don't know that, and I should.
You'll be really upset when I tell you what it was.
I will be, because it's probably something ridiculous.
Granted, I'm reading it off Google, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, obviously.
Mr. Incredible or something like that?
I'll give you a clue, right? If it was a Death Star, it would do this, but at a super level.
Nope, don't know. That does not help.
Right, Al Gore. Think Al Gore and Family Guy. Not Family Guy, South Park. Think Al Gore and, South Park.
He's Man Bear Pig? He's part Super man, part
destroyer.
Bear Pig?
Super Destroyer. Excelsior.
I mean, that's generic 70s wrestling name. I mean, like, if you listen to, like, one of my favorite Triple H stories of all time that I love to hear him do is when he's talking about Kowalski giving him his wrestling name. His wrestling name originally was the Terrorizer. And he's like, Walter, that's kind of a fucking dumb name. I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
I'd like to know how the facts I asked Google that were about Hogan have turned up about Andre.
Yeah, because those two are synonymously linked with each other.
I'll tell you forever. What, though. I mean, the thumbnail I have right now.
Hogan and the Iron Sheik.
Hogan's squaring up to Andre, and you're like, Andre, you really were a big fucking beast.
Oh my God, he was a massive man.
Well, I think in one of my previous fact sections, what was it? He drank 119 beers, and still was
just to get him drunk,
and then started drinking wine or something.
And he would throw you out of the bar if you didn't let him pay for your bar tab. Let me just say, Andre, if you were still with us, rest in peace, you would never have to throw me out the bar. I'm right there with you, brother. Pay for my tab,
Does anybody want a peanut?
After wrestling in small circuits on the East Coast for a couple of months, I can't pronounce that name. We'll just call him B. Sorry, wrestler, I can't pronounce your name. It's called having 7 beers. He was discovered by then promoter and owner of WWE legendary, I don't know if I go as far as to say legendary, Vince McMahon in 1979. We forget this sport's been running for so long. Looking at the physically impressive Andre, McMahon said, I got a vision for you. That's kind of creepy. Sounds like he's grooming him.
Oh no, Andre was the WWE's moneymaker after Bruno left. Andre was the chief attraction, but Andre never had the belt before. He was just people would pay to watch Andre the Giant go.
This is an interesting question. What did Vince McMahon say to Andre what your name should be? Even though it wasn't, and it got afforded to another wrestler.
I have no idea.
I shit you not.
The Undertaker. He was going to be Andre the Giant. Was going to be Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Well, he is a giant. It kind of makes sense now, by the way.
I don't know. I think Andre the Giant seems like such much more of a better name for.
I just want him to pick up my bar tab. I'm not going to lie.
I just want him to be alive.
Yeah, well, that's let's see if I can just be slightly serious for a moment. That's the thing with giganticism, isn't it? Which is it takes such a terrible drain on your organs.
Yeah.
Oh, Hulk! Even though apparently I searched you, but your picture appears on every thumbnail, but you're not in any of these questions. Keep that yellow shirt on. You look like a twat. As I mentioned earlier before in his career, many were impressed by the size of Hulk Hogan. Really? After talking about Andre, why are you impressed with Hulk Hogan? Andre was fucking huge.
Andre was really only working, this was still the territory days, so not everybody really got to see. I mean, you knew who Andre the Giant was.
Name is size, not size. He was like, unless you've blown him.
He was
Give me his size in inches.
I think he was like 7'3" or something like that.
Oh, close.
Not 7'4".
That's a go. No.
7'4".
You're overstrapping by overstrapping. That's a medicated cough.
7'2".
We take in this country when we have a sore foot. I'll give you. He's in the region of Dolph Lundgren.
He's
How
7
the fuck
foot.
do I know that? That's scary.
Anyway,
if I was if I was an ant, I'd have this many feet.
7'6".
6 foot 7 inches.
Yeah.
I thought he was taller. I'm really quite surprised with that. I thought he was like behemoth. Well, he's a behemoth, and even though he's a sellout to reality TV shows, I'd never tell him to his face because he'd beat me into a pulp and probably eat me and digest me and poop me out and put me in the Atlantic. But I thought he was taller than that. I really did. Kind of a little bit disappointed. Don't hit me, Hulk. A little bit disappointed. You're sure?
Oh, Hogan? Oh, Hogan? Yeah, Hogan's only 6'7".
Sorry, says me, who's 5'8".
He's not. Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's big for wrestling, but he's not gigantic. Burhan, are you back now?
Oh my God! I have a picture of him in the thumbnail of him on a wrecking ball, like Miley Cyrus. That's the most scary thing I've ever seen.
Oh
God!
I have that too. I have that too.
I wish we could forget that.
I have that too. I've had that picture for months.
Final question.
A year, actually.
Lucky underwear. I just swelled my mouth out with Carlsberg because Hogan, you're not wearing any underwear, are you? That's nasty.
I think he's wearing a thong in that picture. Yes.
I hope he's wearing something because that's just nasty.
I posted that last year and I said I came in.
Wrestling career. The colors red and yellow were synonymous with the Hulkamania character. Red would prove to be a lifesaver to Hulk Hogan on more than one life, occasion. Hogan, who obviously had done a lot of traveling, had involved two plane crashes, two plane crashes, and was wearing what?
His WWE Championship belt.
No, because that automatically is a parachute, and he would survive. Well, he's still alive, so I guess he did.
His gym belt?
It's really kind of sweaty and nasty. Do you want to know what? The same pair of red underwear during both crashes. Oh, you know what? If it's lucky and it keeps you alive, I don't blame him.
That is literally lucky underwear. If it keeps you alive in two plane crashes, I think that's literally the luckiest pair of underwear.
Someone who's scared of flying, I say, good for you, Hogan.
Yeah, really.
Keeps you fucking alive.
All I need to ask is, did it make him look strong?
Real strong.
Real strong.
No, but when he asked for a drink,
STRAWNG.
When he asked for a drink on the plane, apparently he said, "Give me a gin and tonic, brother."
Yeah, right, brother. And then he big booted and leg dropped the flight attendant. All right, I got my Iron Sheik tweet of the week. Are we ready?
Go for it.
Are we ready for this? All right. So there was a lot of them. It was hard for me in that 5 minutes to pick one, but I obviously went with one that was very close to my heart. Obviously, being a New York Giants fan and New York Giants season football season.
Nice.
Yeah, a little bit did. The season was very heartbreaking. We were 6-10, so there's that. But hope springs eternal. Next fall, we'll get onto it. But this one made me laugh. The Odell Beckham deserved more sex than his brother David. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
Can I bring football into this, by the way?
Yes, quickly, sure, why not?
Quickly. I know you hate me for this, Brandon, but I have to say it. Gerrard's going to leave Liverpool in the summer.
I know. He's coming to America. I hope he's coming to New York because NYCFC.
Can't you see I'm coming to America?
Your royal penis is cleats, sir. Sorry.
He's gonna end up in either. I hope he ends up in New York City Football Club because I think they're gonna have to appease the fans after the whole Frank.
I'd love to see him. I know, no offense, mate, but I'd love to see him next to Frank Lampard, and then we could school you on how to.
Well, put it this way. I'm gonna be buying a New York City Football Club kit. I don't think I'm going to be buying it in city blue though. I'll be buying the road kit in black. Because I will not be caught dead in city blue. But no, he's going to end up, I think, in New York City Football Club, or I think he's going to end up in LA Galaxy. That's what he's going to end up. He's going to say to the scouts.
I will say this. I know it's not a football show, but I will say this. He was forced out by Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely been forced out, and it's a damn shame. And I think Rodgers might. I think if Rodgers loses his job before the end of the season, Gerrard will come back.
His job. He's ruined and raped my fucking favourite football club.
Anyway.
So,
sorry, I can retract this into football, what I just had to say, because I know Brandon will like it, but I'm really devastated by that news. It really upsets me.
I know. It is. It's not a good year for Liverpool football fans. That's for sure.
It's also not a good year for my gut, because I'm eating a lot of turkey.
Turkey's good. Turkey's the future.
It's good for you, actually. Turkey is good for you, actually. So
I've had
protein
many bowls of turkey soup. It's ridiculous.
I have a boring random fact, by the way. If you eat nothing but rabbit for the rest of your life, you will die because there are no nutrients in it whatsoever. Stephen Fry told me that. Well, he didn't tell me that.
Yes.
The TV told
absolutely
me that.
Will. That's why I don't eat rabbit.
I believe it's got some protein in it, but not much. And it has a lot more parasites. Anyway.
And shot from Farmer's Shotgun.
Hopefully you get that out,
Nick,
though.
Where can we find you?
I bought a rabbit, and I bought a duck once, and it actually said on a disclaimer on the front of the package, it said, "Warning, this may contain shotgun trace."
Yeah.
I didn't realise I was buying Call of Duty
and shotgun in Call of Duty.
So,
find traces of the shotguns in their ass.
Shall we continue on the plugs?
Yes.
Sorry, I derailed us again. I do apologise.
Go on, Nick.
Alright, you can find me on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187. You can find me on Twitter at Gaming Pegasus 187. I'm on Instagram at Pegasus 187. I'm on Facebook at Nick Rocek. I'm somewhere on the Supercard servers doing the old 3-man band thing, getting my way through the People's Champion Challenge at Pegasus 187. Yeah. Good strategy.
I was explaining Slamcast to my girlfriend, Nick, by the way, and I sound so bad when I say this, but I'm sorry I couldn't pronounce your surname.
It's fine. It's been mispronounced so many different ways.
It's got too many, like,
I'm
Russian
over on the Wii U. Anyway, I'm over on the Wii U at Pegasus 187, and I'm on Xbox Live at Pegasus 187.
So there you go, guys. Dave, where can we find you?
You can find me at the side of Christ, for I am elevated right now.
Oh, that is the best plug ever. It just ended on that. That's the best plug ever.
Lone Boys, don't even put 1975 at Baby Jeebus.
I love Drunk
Save
Dave.
Me, Jeebus!
I love
Save Me, Jeebus. You can find me at Longboys Post 1975. Thank you to these crazy ragtag of bastards. Basically, you're the A-team who've sucked me into wrestling and destroyed my brain because now I have something else to spend money on. But yeah, find me on Longboys Post. I don't know. Find me on Longboys Post 1975. You might see shit you like. You probably won't. That's my plug.
Yes, and Brandon. Oh no, myself of course.
You first. You and then me.
Genius. If you want to find out where this and any other podcasts are, you go to www.nerdgenius.com. Go for it.
Sorry, Jesus, by the way.
Yes, sorry, Jesus. We apologize.
I don't believe in you, but I'm still saying sorry.
Yeah, buddy. So, all right. You like this podcast, obviously. You're listening to this podcast. If you listen to all 2 hours or however much we did of it. You like professional wrestling, yes? Go out there, support independent professional wrestling in your local neighborhoods and bingo halls and hotel convention centers and VFW halls and brothels and gymnasiums and auxiliary halls, whatever. You know where it is. It's fine because there's people out there trying to live their dreams. It's simple. All you gotta do is just give your time and a little bit of your cash money. That's all we ask. So
most of love.
Yes, man. So all right, you can find me on the Twitter at @BrandonAllHope. On the Instagram, apparently nothing. On the Facebook, just Google me. I'm on everything, bitch. So,
he's McCready, people. He's McCready.
For Dave Wade, for Nick Horacek, for Mr. Michael Burhan, my theme song's already playing. I'm Brandon Liggins saying goodnight. Go forth and spread beauty and light. Peace, love, and humptiness to all. Bye.
Support LAfights.com.
www.lafights.com.
Yeah! Lick my bean because I'm horny.
This show is sponsored by how many fucks I give. And I think that's 0. This show is also sponsored by Vince McMahon and his ego trips. Fucking everyone's lives up since how long have we done WWE for? 1960? I don't know. Those fucking archaic tactics. For fuck's sake, Vince. Sort yourself out. This show is also sponsored by Vince McMahon's toupee. The thing that's so weird it's got a life of its own. And yes, implants count as a toupee, please. This is also sponsored by Vince's weird jackets. Remember those weird jackets you used to wear in the 1990s? Those things that look like a sports coat?
With the WWE logo emblazoned?
Yes.
With the WWE logo emblazoned on it? Yo, those were hot as shit. I want
Stand
one.
back.
Like the red one? The red one? Yo, that was hot as shit. I want one of those. That and a Ribera Steakhouse jacket. Anybody out there listening?
I don't mind a picture, by the way, if you get one.
You can get me a Ribera Steakhouse jacket. Forever in my jet. Forever. Are we still live?
I don't know, I'm scared. Hold me.
I don't care anymore. We're done.